Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our first CDA training. I'm going to share my screen in just a moment. All right. Thank you all for being here. This is a really important class. I'm glad we are doing it. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we'll try to go over it. And if it's something I can't answer, I will make sure to ask our accounting department and get back to you immediately. All right, so let's get started. So the CDA is your commission disbursement instructions. Once accounting receives the CDA form with your completed paperwork in your dot loop, you will be able to get paid. So it's really important. And when you start a loop in dot loop, the CDA is a preloaded document that is in every single template. So you don't need to worry about bringing it in from a template or uploading it separately. It's already there. And best practice is to submit your CDA about 10 days before your transaction's closing date. That way, our accounting team can review it, can make sure all of your paperwork is in your loop, and you'll get paid on time. So if you submit your CDA, on the closing date or after, obviously that's going to prolong accounting's ability to review your paperwork and get everything done really fast for you. Something I just really wanted to make note is if you are a Georgia agent and you are a member of the FMLS, they actually, for all listings, they charge a 0.0012% charge, I guess, for all listings entered into that MLS. And so I just wanted to make everybody aware that is a member of that MLS that will need to be added onto your CDA as one of the fees you'll be paying. Looks like we have some chat. Lewis says, how long is this class? I'm not sure, Lewis, exactly how long it will take us because it's our first one. And then Timothy says, you do not always have a 10-day window. Some things happen without notice. Absolutely, Timothy. You just got to do the best you can, right? That's all we can do is just the best we can. Submit it, as soon as you're able to submit it. And that's kind of the message is as soon as you're able to submit it, please do so. We do get a lot of agents that will ask, say I need to get paid, where's my check? And we say, well, you didn't submit a CDA. And then the agent says, what's a CDA? So that's really why we're doing this class, is because a lot of people are submitting it really last minute. And we just want to make sure you guys are getting paid when you need to get paid. So just submit it as soon as you can. All right, so how do you find the CDA in dot loop? So it's one of the preloaded documents in every loop template. Once you create your loop, you will see the CDA listed there. And if you need to add it for whatever reason, you can still find it in the templates. It's going to be in the commission disbursement template folder. So you can always find it there if you do need to add another one. So we have some tips from our accounting team. Using the autofill feature in dotloop will be super helpful to filling out the form. So if you have entered your transaction details in the View Details tab in dotloop, which I cover in my dotloop class, a lot of the property information will autofill for you. And the title company section. So this is where you're going to name the entity that's holding the money. So it might not be a title company, it might be a person. Just write their name in the blank. And then under commission details, that's where you can explain, Mark Jones wired Dalton Wade the commission on X day. If the title company name doesn't fit in the box, please resize your font and I will show you how to do that. And we have the commission details section. So this is where you're going to explain the commission situation. So who's involved in the transaction, who is getting a part of the total commission, and to whom, if anyone, you are paying a fee to. So that could be a lead source, that could be a referral, all of that. The client source section is really important because this is going to tell us where the client came from. Was it, from your sphere? Was it from a lead source? We need to know where the lead came from so that we can keep track of all of that. And accounting will verify this information. So don't worry about that. And lead sources also will run investigations every year to see, if maybe you forgot to mark someone from a lead source, and they will contact you. They will contact us if they feel that there is something owed to them. So, and then the total amount due section. This is going to be the total commission you're due before paying out fees and referrals. So the amount due to Dalton Wade, this is going to be whatever plan you're on. If you're on a monthly plan, don't worry about it. But if you're on the 79 or 390 plan, that you would have to include that. And then if you owe anything to a lead source, you would add that. And that would be in the amount due to Dalton Wade section. On the payable to lines, you'll write what's owed to you. And then in the following lines, you'll write what's owed to any other agent, if applicable. So I'm going to check the chat. Looks like there's a bunch of people. Lewis says, let's see. Alta statement is required. We don't get that until 3 days prior. So the Alta statement is different from the CDA. The CDA is the instructions to the Dalton Wade accounting department. Alta is a title document. Those are different. Timothy says, my biggest complaint is getting paid on a rental, and it takes me 1.5 to 2 weeks to get paid. And I should not have to disclose who and where my lead source is. So Timothy, if you are on the leads program and a lead source is coming from, say your lead came from OpCity, you owe 35% of your commission to OpCity. So it does matter where your lead source came from. And the reason why we ask is because we have had, Zillow, OpCity, whatever, come to us and say, agent X, Y, and Z owes us $500. And so then we have to say, oh, okay, we got to go back. We got to figure out, and that's fine, Timothy. If you're not on the lead source, you don't need to worry about it. You can just say that the client came from your sphere, right? We only care if you're on the lead program, and then we have to, deal with the lead systems basically. Johanna says, has anyone had success through Zillow or OpCity? We get a lot of people with leads through those two, actually. We get quite a bit. Lewis says, so the Alta isn't required for CDA and we're able to submit even though it says required on .loop. Yeah, again, the CDA is just one of the documents in your .loop. You do have other documents you need to upload, but the CDA is just the instructions for accounting. Yeah, okay, so that looks like we're good on that for now. I'm going to move forward. So here is the CDA. And these instructions, there isn't an example CDA in your .loop as well. So you guys can always reference that if you need to while you're filling it out. So in the first section, you're going to put the property address, the closing date or the date the commission is due, then the title, lease, escrow company information. Please don't leave any of that blank. Anything you leave blank, our accounting team is going to have to come back to you and say, who is this? Or they're going to have to try to find it in your documents. So the more this is filled out, the quicker things will happen. Number 4 is going to be the total amount due. So this is going to, number 3, commission details and client source. So we do have a little blurb in each box, and that will kind of explain what to put there. All you have to do is click in the box, delete it, and then write what you need to write. So if there's transaction fees, a commission rebate, bonuses, all of that, you should note in the commission details box. The total amount due. This will be the commission owed to your side of the deal. You will include any transaction fees collected as well, and commission rebates are subtracted from that amount. The total amount due must match the math in the commission details box. So the commission details box is where you can write out all the math. Okay, the payable to lines. So line 1 is going to be what's payable to Dalton Wade, and this is where you will put your transaction fee and where you would allocate any lead program fees for Prime Street, Op City, KB Core, etc. And of course, that only applies if you're on the lead program. If you're not, don't worry about it. Line 2 is payable to you, and you will also need to put the delivery instructions. So do you want it wired to you? Do you want a check mailed? You need to put that there. Lines 3 to 5 are for any other brokers or Dalton Wade agents receiving a referral from this transaction. Make sure their address is correct and that we have a W-9 in the loop as well. So the total in the payable lines must add up to the total due, right? And the CDA will be returned by compliance or accounting if there are any corrections needed. Please check your loop for any notes and make changes and then resubmit if you need to do that. Okay, so we're gonna fill one out together. And I do have a video link here if you guys are watching the recording or looking at the slides later. And you want to watch a recording of us doing that, you can totally just click the link and do that. If any of you are short on time today and need to go, I will be sending this recording out to everybody with the recording of me filling out a CDA after the class is over. So, if you have to go, that's fine. Okay, so we're in dot loop right now. So I am going to go. It looks like there's something in the chat. Alicia says, as long as we have the CDA filled correctly and signed off on, are we able to get our check at closing? Yes, that there should be no problem with that. And Alicia, you can always call support. And if you have any CDA questions or any questions about when you specifically are going to get paid on a certain transaction, just email or call support and they will find out for you immediately. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go to add loop and I'm going to do a test loop. So I'm just going to say test, continue. I'm going to choose my loop template. I'm just going to choose the first one since this is just a test and we just need the CDA. View loop. All right, so as you can see, when I scroll down, the CDA is a pre-filled document. So I'm going to click on CDA. If I had the autofill feature done, I could press autofill, but I don't because it's a test, so I'm just going to X out of that. All right, so now all you're going to do is click in the little blue outline box and you're going to start filling it out. So I'm going to do that. So I am going to put, I'm going to fill in a full address. I'm going to put the closing date, title company. Now, for the title company, let's say Turner Title is who I'm using. So I'm going to show you now how to adjust the font size because these boxes are small. So Turner Title, let's say Lisa is my contact. So that's Lisa at turnertitle.com. And let's say I need to make this smaller. So I've already, my cursor is already in this box. I'm going to come up to font and I'm going to choose a smaller font. So let's say you can go as small as 8. And so you'd fill all of this out, phone number, email, contact, who your contact is. So really the email would go here. And then, let's see, I got to make this smaller. And then my contact would be Lisa. Okay. Looks like we got something in the chat. I'm going to check that. Let's see. Ellie says, I had tech issues. Can I go back and watch the webinar from the beginning? Yes, I will be sending the recording out of this webinar to everybody who registered for the class, and you guys can go back later and rewatch it and take all the time you need. Okay, so purchase price, I'm going to put 310,000. Okay, that was the total purchase price. In the commission details, I'm going to click in the box. I'm going to delete this. Same thing with the client source, because now I'm going to enter my information. So for the commission detail, I'm going to write it was a 3% commission, which is 9,300. Under that, I'm going to say minus a 35% fee to OpCity, which is 3,255. And then under that, I'm going to say it's also minus my Dalton Wade transaction fee of $79. Okay. And the commission is $59.66. And so I've explained how I got to my commission and what the fees were. Then in the client source, I am going to write OpCity, because that is where I'm referencing that's where I got my client. So the total amount due coming into Dalton Wade is going to be $9,300, and payable to Dalton Wade is going to be $33.34, which is the OpCity and Dalton Wade fee. And then payable to me, I'm going to write my name. And the total payable to me is going to be $59.66. And delivery instructions, I am going to say, please wire the funds to me at closing. And I'm going to sign here. There's just one agent, so I'm just going to sign here. And once I'm done with that, I am going to press save up at the top. I'm going to go back to my loop. I don't want to share it. And the way you are going to submit this for review is up at the top. You're going to press submit for review. You are going to checkbox the folder that the CDA is in, and you're going to press submit. And that's it. All right. Going to come back to my slides, see if there's anything in the chat. Ellie says, I don't know how to get to dotloop. I can help you separately with that, Ellie. You need to just log into dotloop. If you don't already have a login, I can help you with that. So I will look into that after this. Okay. All right. So here is a CDA example. So this one has two Dalton Wade agents. They're on separate plans. Only one CDA needs to be submitted. So if there's two Dalton Wade agents, only one CDA needs to be submitted, okay? So the commission details, it's a 3%, split 50-50 between two Dalton Wade agents. Agent 1 pays monthly, and agent 2 is on the 390 plan. And so that's why on the CDA here, you can see that agent 2 has the 390 transaction fee. So you can see this person has filled everything out. The client source was a previous client. They put the total amount commission due. Dalton Wade, there's only a 390 fee because it's coming from, agent 2. And then we have the total amount due to both agents in the payable fields down here. And then in the instructions, agent 1 would need to put their instructions and agent 2 would need theirs. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So this is a CDA where there's an outside referral. So when the commission is split with an outside referral, we need the referral agreement, and we need the referring broker's W-9. This is really important. A lot of people miss this. So in this case, the commission is 3% with a 50% referral fee going to an outside brokerage. So the total amount due will be the total commission before the referral fees taken out. That's going to be right here. Payable to Dalton Wade will be this agent's Dalton Wade transaction fee, which is $79. And then on the second line of the payable will be this agent's commission amount after the transaction fee and referral fee. On the third line will be the 50% fee that's going to the outside brokerage, the agent that the referral fee is going to. Their address is going to go in the delivery instructions so we can send them a check. All right, this is a CDA with a Zillow split. So in the commission details, there's a 2% commission. There's a $395 transaction fee from the seller coming in. There's a 20% referral to Zillow, which is the lead source, and we have that marked here. And there's a 50-50 commission split between two Dalton Wade agents. So the total amount due is the total commission coming in before splits and fees. Payable to Dalton Wade will be the Zillow fee of 20% plus the agent's transaction fees. And then payable to each agent will be the remaining commission split between each of them 50-50. Okay. And that's all I have today for you guys. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to stop recording, and I'm going to see if there's any more questions.